Welcome to Digital and FinTech Analytics channel.
Friends, welcome to the new series of next basket recommendation system, where we'll be walking through a particular methodology, which is temporal item frequency user based k nearest neighbor algorithm, which shortly stands for TIFUKNN method. So this next basket recommendation system has been divided into some sections. Like we'll start with the data preparation and data cleaning, and secondly we'll be doing the feature engineering where we'll be developing the personalized insights for each of the users. Thirdly, we'll be getting into the collaborative filtering part, which we'll be doing using KNN, k nearest neighbor algorithms. And then we'll be getting the final predictions by combining the output of the personalized insights and the collaborative insights. And using these final predictions, we'll be comparing it with the actuals, and on the basis of certain metric, we'll be judging the quality of the model.
So what's happening over here is like for a particular user A, we are having recommendation coming from two components. Component one is like the personalized insights and component two is like the collaborative component. So what's happening in the collaborative component is basically corresponding to user A, we will figure out who are the users who are having similar kind of purchasing pattern. Then for those users, we will see like what are the products and they are purchasing. Then we will recommend those products to user A. So that's collaborative component. Now coming back to component one, it's from personalized insights. So basically, when we look into user A's historical transaction, we will figure out like what are the products that user A is repeatedly interacting with. So that's personalized insights. To implement these personalized insights, we will be considering two different effects. One is like temporal ripple effect, one is like the temporal fractures effect. For now, just remember the name. We will go into the details of what is temporal ripple effect and temporal fractures effect. But for now, we will be just using the mechanism temporal ripple effect and temporal fractures effect, using which we will be implementing the personalized insights or like the component one. Now, finally, what we'll be doing is like we will get the output of the personalized insights and the collaborative component, and we'll be merging them together. And finally, we'll be getting the final list of products to be recommended to user A. So that's how like the whole of the process goes on. And we will be looking into the details of each of these component in the upcoming video.
So in continuation, where we were recommending a final list of products to that has to be recommended to the user A. Just want to continue with that chain of thought. So now say the same final list of products that has been recommended to user A over here. So say there are top 10 items that has been recommended to user A. Now how do you know these are the most relevant items in the next basket recommendation system scenario? So basically what next basket recommendation says is it will predict what are the items that a user is going to purchase in the next basket. So we have to compare these predictions with some ground truth basket. So here the ground truth basket is what items did user A purchase in the last basket or the last transaction. So we look what are the items did the user purchase in the last transaction, and we compare these predictions with the the actuals. These are the actuals. So we will compare these two and figure out what is the overlap between these two. So on the basis of this overlap, we will be looking into three different metrics. One is the recall, one is NDCG, and final is personalized hit rate. So we'll be looking into these three metrics in detail when in the upcoming videos, but this is closing the loop of how the prediction is being compared with the actuals. So in the actuals, we have what items did the user purchase in the last transaction, and we'll be comparing the last transaction items with the ones that has been predicted. And if there is a heavy overlap, then we can say our model is doing a good good work in predicting the next basket recommendations, like what are the items that user is A is most likely to purchase in the next basket. So that's why like the next stands for in the next basket recommendation. Okay, so we will be looking into the first part, which is the data preparation and cleaning part. So let's dive right into it. So for the sake of this recommendation system, we will be reading a publicly available dataset, which is known as staffing dataset. The link to this dataset, I will share it in the supplement material section. So what we do over here is like, first of all, we read the both the tapping dataset. So there are two tapping datasets. One is tapping history and tapping future. So basically, what's the difference between like tapping history and tapping future? So in tapping history, for a particular user, we have all the historical transactions, and for that in the tapping feature, for that particular user, we have the last transactions. So what are the items that the user has purchased in the last transaction is present in tapping future, and what are the items that the user has purchased in the throughout the historical transactions except the last transaction is present in tapping history. So we use pandas to read the corresponding CSV files. We use the pandas read CSV functions to read the file into respective data frames. A bit of familiarity with Python, Pandas, and NumPy will be required to easily go through this material. In case you are beginner, I will share some supplementary link for you to go through. Thank you. That's a wrap for today's video. If you found this content valuable, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future insights into data science, AI, machine learning, and analytics. Looking to master data science or drive data-driven success? I offer expert training, mentorship, and consultancy for individuals and organizations. Let's collaborate. Reach out via my contact details in the bio.